As a coach or course creator online, launching an offer is the number one thing that you can do to make more money in your business. But most people don't know how to do it the right way and they don't know what the steps are. So in this video, I'm going to break down for you everything step by step of what to do to launch your offer. Now, for those of you that I have not met yet, my name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and why should you listen to me? For the last 21 years, I've been in the coaching, mentoring, and training space, building some of the top businesses over $10 million a year in profit. And I can help you get more clients, make more money, and actually have the kind of business that you want that's not going to burn you out, something that you love, something that you get to enjoy. And so today I want to talk about creating and launching that offer. Now, we're not going to go into the nitty gritty of what software to use and landing pages and all this. That's for other videos. I want to talk more about once you have your offer ready to go, how do you get it out there to people? So when it comes to having an offer, generally we define it in two stages. Number one, you have something that's paid that you're going to be selling to people, okay? And you can price this differently depending on who it's for, what the market is, what the intention on your funnel is. The other offer is having a free / very low cost offer. So this one I might charge, $2,000 for. This one might only be $7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote this one right here to build trust with people to buy this thing right here. Because the fact is, most people are not going to buy something that's $2,000 simply because it's awesome. And there's enough coaches and trainers out there that are selling things that cost that much and more, that you need to have a strategy in place that's going to build trust with people, okay? And so to have that, that's what your lead magnet is, that's what your landing page is, and what we like to promote is some kind of a lead magnet that provides value to people. It doesn't overteach, it also doesn't oversell, but it shows people what it is and your system. It's kind of like a checklist of some sort. You can actually have a checklist be a lead magnet. Another thing could be, let's say, a video training of some kind that goes over a topic. This video right here is an example. The kind of video that I'm even teaching right here, you could have on a page where people have to sign up with their name and email address to get a video to listen to you train them, okay? You're not providing transformation at this level. You provide transformation at this level. You hold back on the transformation until people purchase from you. And this is key because I meet a lot of coaches and mentors. They want to help so many people. But the problem is that they are trying to bring transformation to people that are not making an investment. And the problem is you're actually doing people a disservice because they haven't made an investment. They don't take the training seriously. And it actually discredits you overall by doing that. And so what you want to do is you want to provide value here, but you're not giving all the step-by-step how-to everything is accomplished in your free stuff. Does that make sense? The reason why is because if you have a business, let me pause here. There's a lot of people, they don't make money, okay? And they provide a lot of great how-to content, and they're looking for engagement, but they're not making any money. And so if that's you and you don't want to make any cash, don't do this. But if you actually want to make cash flow, if you actually want to make 6 and 7 figures, this is the process to be able to do this. And it's not that one way is right or wrong. They're just different models, if that makes sense. So a lot of people, unfortunately, are following models of people that are not even making any money. When it comes to building their business, they're hoping and praying that they get engagement, and the algorithm shines its light upon them, and it pushes the content out to people. That's not a way to build a business, okay? The way you want to build a business is you want to be able to communicate the value that you have to offer. You want to show people kind of like a checklist that's in a verbal form if it's on video, or it could be written, or it could be in an ebook format. And then what you do is you promote that to people right here. So what I'm going to go through is the process of actually launching your lead magnet and actually getting that out there to get people to buy into your offer. When you have your offer right here, a lot of people make the mistake of just launching with this and then they get disappointed when nobody buys it and they feel like, gosh, I'm a failure, and gosh, nobody purchased that thing that I spent so much time and effort into. And the truth is, it's just because that's not how the world works. It's kind of like expecting somebody to marry you on the first date, or going up to your best friend and saying, hey, will you marry me? Does that make sense? And it really is that way. It's not cheesy or silly to say it that way, because the problem is that when you have an offer that's for sale, that's a big commitment that you're asking people for. And so for you to expect people to make that commitment without knowing who you are, without being in a buying position, without feeling ready to purchase something, that's just simply not even realistic. And unfortunately, that is the way that most coaches and mentors think, is that if I have an incredible program with a lot of value, people are going to buy it because it just rocks. And it's so good that people are just going to see how amazing it is. And they're going to purchase it. And that's just not the case. So what you have to do is you have to go through a process of building trust with people over here before they ever purchase something over here. I've worked with thousands of coaches, and unfortunately the ones who are disappointed, stressed out, burnt out, I tried everything and nobody bought anything. They don't do this. They just put something out there and they get disappointed when people don't buy the thing that they're doing, that they're putting out there, because they're not actually taking the time to make a connection with somebody. They're not taking the time to actually build a connection, to build trust, so that then that person can buy from them. So that's the number one thing that you want to do, is you actually want to create an offer that builds trust with people. Once you have that offer, now it's time to launch it and it's time to put it out there. Generally, you can come up with one of these offers by figuring out, okay, what is my paid system? My paid system is right here. And I might have these different pillars of ideas that I do. I know it looks kind of like a virus image, but it's not. What this is let's say I help people grow their coaching business. But I might create an offer on finding your niche. I might create an offer on running ads. I might create an offer on creating a course. Does that make sense? So even though I help people in my coaching program, the Client Growth Accelerator, I walk you through, come alongside you, and become a part of your team to actually build your business with you as part of this. But that's not like everything that's in there. There's a lot of different factors to it. So what you want to do is you want to find one piece of your system and create a lead magnet around it. So like I might create a lead magnet around creating a course that generates 6 figures. I might create a lead magnet around running Facebook ads that get more clients. I might create a lead magnet around finding your niche. All right? And so based on that, now I want to build that out on a landing page, and I want to schedule a time when people can actually register for that. So let's say my offer is a live event that I'm going to be hosting. Okay? So I got to schedule the time for the live event, and this is the process that we go through when we're launching an offer. Okay? Number one, we want to schedule the time. I think that's the first thing. Find the date. You want to definitely name your offer. You want to figure out what the topic is about, okay? And so that's going to be a piece of the thing that you're actually selling. You figure out a date, and then you go in and you build landing page. You write up the autoresponder emails. Okay? You record videos. And like, what kind of videos are there? Well, here's the thing. So when you actually are creating your landing page, number one, there's something that I recommend that a lot of people do. You want to actually put a photo of you on the page. And on the thank you page, you want to have a video of you thanking them for registering, and have you with your face directing them verbally, speaking, telling them what actions to take. So whenever we launch an offer, the first step is we create that landing page. We end up writing up the autoresponders. We create what the thank you page is. And then we have some videos that are directing people to go from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. In our autoresponder emails, I'm going to remind people for what they registered for. If it's a live event, I'm going to be reminding them about the event, any bonuses that we've included. You want to record any bonuses if you have a part of that. Next, what we want to do is we want to create promotional materials, okay? And that's what we're going to be talking about right now, is that process of actually creating the promo materials. When you're creating your promotional materials, you want to figure out, who am I trying to reach, and what do I need to say to get them to register for this? So what I like to do as part of our process is I'll create a couple of graphics in Canva that have the title of what it is. I might even create a couple of just text graphics to have some of the copy from our landing page. I'll create some Instagram reels. And we'll use those Instagram reels as advertisements, both organic and paid advertisements, to get people to register with us. So that's really the process of getting everything ready to launch it. Is you want to get all of those pieces recorded. You want to get all of those put together. If it's evergreen, you want to build out whatever the evergreen piece of content is. And now you have all of this ready to go. By the way, I would not recommend you take longer than about 14 days to get this whole process done. You know, as people, we can really drag our feet, myself included, to get offers out there to people and to launch them. And we can take a long time before we actually put them out there, dragging our feet. You know, I look back on the times where I've taken even 60 days to create an offer because I was tossing around in my head how I wanted it to be, how I wanted the funnel to be. But the truth is, I was just analysis paralysis, overthinking the whole process. If you can pull yourself out of analysis paralysis and you pull yourself out of worrying what people think about you, you become willing to put yourself out there and not worry, am I doing it right or wrong? That's key. And I tell you that, one of the biggest things that you want to do is not worry throughout this process, because you will naturally have a temptation to worry. Am I doing all the right things? Is this going to work? Is this going to come together the right way? Maybe you're concerned about how people are going to judge you, things like that. Maybe you're concerned that it's not going to produce the results that you want. Ultimately, this boils down to we're trying to control things that are outside of our control by procrastinating with the things that are inside of our control. And that becomes one of the biggest issues that I find that people end up doing, is there are things inside of their control, like such as the landing page, such as the offer, but they procrastinate through doing those things because they're delaying the inevitable of the things that are outside of their control. Once you put it out there, it's outside of your control. But they're taking way too long to actually get the stuff done that are inside of their control. So can I tell you this, that the reason why we procrastinate is to avoid pain. And we're trying to numb out the pain by doing other things because we don't want to experience potential possible pain or disappointment. And that's one of the biggest reasons why that I notice that people don't launch their offer, is inside of their mind, they are imagining all the ways that it could go wrong. And they're letting those things prevent them from actually doing the work to get it done. I work with hundreds of people every single week. I've coached thousands of people over the years, and I find that this is the number one thing that prevents people. It's our own thinking. It's our own mind. We come up with and ruminate and process all of the ways that things are not going to be within our control. And yeah, great. Let go of the things you can't control the things you can. But the problem is that we get caught in this loop of inaction, where we are so concerned about it not going how we want that we don't do anything. I find myself even experiencing this on a daily basis when I got to create content, even videos like this. And so one of the biggest things that you can do is to get yourself in a mindset of action taking. One of the ways that you can do this that I find that a lot of people don't do, there's a couple of things that I like to do. Number one, you could try to clean your house. It's actually a great thing to do. Maybe you've been procrastinating a certain room in your house, getting that done. If you do that room in your house, I will tell you this, you will feel inspired to do the thing that you are procrastinating on in your business. Try it out. It's kind of crazy, but it actually works really well. I find that if I'm really putting off doing certain things around the house, that actually is one of the biggest reasons why I end up procrastinating in my business. Now, sometimes it flips, where I end up really liking doing stuff in my house, and now that becomes the way that I procrastinate. So you want to be careful with that. You want to be careful that you're not using these things that help motivate you as a form of procrastination. And you start to really pay attention to that. And I think that procrastination becomes a habit when we're constantly used to putting things aside that we need to do for the stuff that we need to do. Let me explain that again, okay? Launching your offer is something that you need to do in your business. But there's other stuff in your life that you need to do. And so what we do is we literally numb out to not do the stuff in our business that we need to do to grow by doing the stuff that we need to do outside of our business. Pretty interesting. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't allow that to get you caught up in a cycle of productive procrastination. Productive procrastination, and by the way, you can use this to your advantage, is you want to truly, if we get at the core of it, it's about getting self-aware of why we're doing what we're doing and not letting those things become ignored. Why am I avoiding creating my landing page? Why am I avoiding recording my ads? Why, even though I have all of this stuff ready to go, I know exactly what I want to launch, I know exactly what I want to say, am I avoiding putting it out there? And oftentimes it's because we don't want to be disappointed, we don't want it to not work out, and we are allowing fear and worry of things that might happen outside of our control to take over our own actions. But you're more powerful than that. You have the ability to do hard things, even if they don't feel good. And I'll tell you this as somebody who I really believe that prioritizing peace in your life is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. Sometimes there are moments when you need to do the uncomfortable thing, when you need to do the thing that you are putting off longer than anything else. And so once you get to that place where you start creating a habit of doing the stuff that you've been putting off and taking it one step at a time, breaking it down into smaller chunks, taking it one step at a time, figuring out what's the thing that might help you. Maybe put on some music that you like. Heck, put on a TV show on Netflix while you're building your landing page. Now, don't get distracted just watching the TV show. Again, I've been guilty of that. But I've also found that if I'm really, really struggling to gain breakthrough in something, I'll turn on a TV show. I'll turn on something to get my mind off of the uncomfortability of the action that I'm doing and kind of simultaneously watch it in the background while I'm doing that uncomfortable thing. It's actually something that I found that actually works really well. Let me tell you this, not doing anything is the wrong choice. Figuring out how you operate best to do something, that's what's going to help you more than anything else. And so now what are those actions that you want to do? Once you have all of those pieces that we talked about on this page, ready to go, ready to put out there, ready to launch, now it's time to actually launch it. So you want to take those Instagram reels that you posted, and what I would do is once every day or so, post one post on all social media platforms where you're talking about something that's related to the thing that you have in your offer. At the end of it, you tell people about the offer and where they can find it. One of the great ways that we can do this now is you can tell people to comment and use a tool like ManyChat to be able to show them how to do that. You can use a tool like that to send them a link of where to register. You could tell them to go check a link in your bio as well. Now that doesn't always work. If you want to run an advertising campaign, and that's how I like to do it, you also want to launch these as advertisements. We go into the Facebook Ads Manager. We select the audience that we want to target. We figure out the psychology of the people that we want to reach, and then we have the algorithm with a little bit of money behind it, push our offer out there so that then people start registering. And so the goal is you want to gather as many people in front of you as possible. And by the way, that process, there's not much more to it than that. It's more built up in our head that we have. And if you can shrink it down in your head, how big we have it built up, it becomes a lot simpler for you. So one of the things that I like to do is this: send out a couple of emails, a couple of days before we launch the offer, tell people that something's coming, put some posts on social media, tell them that something's coming, and then we start posting these Instagram reels, and we start telling people about the thing that we're going to be putting out there. We start seeding the idea of the result that they're going to be getting out of it. We start to get people excited about the result that they're going to get from the free offer that we have. Now, you might be saying, well, Jeremiah, I thought you said at the beginning of this to not deliver transformation in the free offer. Can I tell you this? The transformation is going to come by them going through the free offer and then them purchasing the thing on the back end of it. So you want to be very excited in your communication in the promotion process about the transformation that they're going to get on the back end. But the way that they got to get there is by coming in through the gate, through the door of your free offer. If I want to go to the rodeo, I got to walk through the gate and pay for a ticket. And on my way there, I'm going to be presented with offers for popcorn and beer and soda and all manner of memorabilia and stuff like that, right? So you got to walk people through that process. And by the way, in all business, that really is one of the number one pieces of psychology that you have to understand. Is in business, let's say that you have a store right here, and on the back shelf there is gold. Okay? This is your offer. This is what you're selling. But people have to come through the front door. Right there. And so then they got to go down the aisle. And they got to turn this way and turn this way before they find the gold on the back shelf. And so the thing that you want to do, your lead magnet is like the parking lot that you're directing them to. You're telling people where to find it, where to come. You're telling them about the incredible gold that you have. Now check this out. You're not going to give them the gold just by showing up at the front door. You're not going to give them the thing that they're buying into just by showing up at the front door. No, they got to go through the process, and then they got to bring it to the register to purchase it. And yet so often as coaches and mentors, we're like, well, just come to the front door and I'll give it to you. Here you go. Here you go. Because we're looking for so much validation. We're looking for people to validate us instead of taking people through the necessary process to reach the outcome that they're looking for. In all business, there is a process in the buying perspective, in the purchasing perspective, and that process is strategically designed. Did you know that if you go to Target, they strategically put products in different parts of the store because they know that you are more likely to buy them if you have to walk through a certain psychological process of how the store is laid out in physical space. There are billions of dollars spent studying this. And there are billions of dollars spent studying how to sell coaching programs the same way as well. And so what your goal is that when you're launching an offer, you're wanting to let people know about the gold that you have. You want to let them know about how amazing it is. And you're directing them to the parking lot and to the front door, which is your free offer. You're directing them to get that incredible outcome by coming to your free offer. You know, I meet a lot of coaches and they're like, well, I don't feel ethical about not giving this incredible result for free to people. And yet if they had a brick and mortar store, they wouldn't feel unethical about not giving gold to people just for coming to the parking lot. It's interesting. And yet it's the same thing. It's the same exact scenario. And so we got to shift our perspective. And you have to start to see your value more. I think one of the biggest reasons why we struggle to sell in our business, why we struggle to launch our offers, is we don't see our own value and we don't respect it enough. And we don't have enough respect for the value that we have inside of us to give to people. You have gold inside of you. And just any yahoo out there doesn't deserve it. You want to give, many are called to come to find the gold, but few are qualified. I know that's not what the Bible says, but that's what I'm saying right here. Many are called with our offer, but few are qualified for it. And so people qualify themselves by actually walking through the door and actually going through the process. And then that's where you deliver that exciting result and transformation that you promised on the back end of it. And so when you're launching an offer, you want to be excited. You want to promise incredible things from the beginning as people go through that process with you. To invite them into a journey with you. To experience something that's absolutely incredible that will change their life. You know, when my clients come into my accelerator program, they're looking to get more clients because they're struggling to even get people to show up in the parking lot, let alone buy something. And when I can walk them through a process to be able to create $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month by showing them how to find their niche, how to dial in their messaging, how to get their sales process in order, and how to structure all of this to put it together, and they actually start making money to have time and financial freedom so that they can have consistent income, so that they don't have sporadic income, so that they have clear messaging, and so that they actually start to have massive impact that they crave. If you want massive impact, this process that I've just shown you here is how you do that. And listen, I'd love to work with you in my accelerator program to show you how to get those results. I'd love to work with you inside of my program to walk you through that process with me. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, get on the waiting list for our accelerator program, and jump in next time we have a training. And I'd love to help you get more results in your business so that you don't struggle and you can actually make the kind of money that you want to make as a coach or mentor. All right, we'll see you soon. Hey, let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd love us to make a video on, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one.